Welcome to Prepper Nation. I am John. Thank you very much, as always, for being here, for hitting thumbs up, for subscribing to the channel, for blasting it out. You folks are awesome. Have you ever just had a day? Like, it's really late at night. Have you ever just been sitting there really late at night, feeling exhausted? You ever just felt that way? That's my current situation. Nellis H, thank you very much for the coffee this very late night, but also for the coffee tomorrow. It is truly appreciated. So we have to talk about climate lockdowns, and I get it. Look, I get it. There are already people in chat, promise you, that are putting, I will not be locked down. Not happening. Was not locked down before. Ditto, so on and so forth. I understand. I'm right there with you, okay? But Klaus Schwab, his daughter has made a recent statement. Now, this was at a WEEF meeting, but it was kind of a backroom meeting, and she was recorded at this meeting. And she made this statement, and I'm paraphrasing here, but the folks on Patreon have seen the complete video. I posted that yesterday, or hopefully if you're on Patreon, you've seen that. She goes on to say, globalists are about to roll out climate lockdowns. Get used to it. She goes on to say that there's not really much the average person can do about it. These are going to start, by the way, Great Britain, France, going to start over that side of the pond, I think, before it gets here. But trust me, it's coming at some point to the United States. She also made the statement that the system we had prior to the pandemic was not sustainable. Of course, she's talking about the population because, you know, it runs in the family, apparently. And she looked at what we're facing now, having gone through the pandemic, having seen people comply, basically. She's saying there's tremendous opportunity to have this great reset. She just straight up said it. It'll probably, maybe, I don't know, get flagged on the video. But look, she literally said this on video, okay? So the WEEF, the Economic Forum, for those that aren't familiar, you would have to Google it and go to their website. They recently published an article called My Carbon. Oh, what a joyous read that is. It's like reading a fifth grader Santa Claus list, if I'm shooting straight with you. And in My Carbon, they're laughing about the fact that billions of people complied during the pandemic. You know, they're basically making the light of the fact that so many people just willingly drank the Kool-Aid and did as they were told. Of course, again, there were holdouts. I'm with y'all. You know, if I could type it right now as I'm filming this, I would be typing, they ain't locking me down, son, because they're not going to lock me down. But I'm just saying, they're saying, you know, the WEEF is in this article saying that a vast majority of people just said, okay, I just want to return to normal, some semblance of normal. Y'all remember this. Most of you remember this, right? What do I have to do, my master, my Lord? What do I have to do? You know, Soros, Schwab, Gates, what do I need to do as a loyal subject to return to normal? And the truth is, all you needed to do is tell them to go kick rocks. But most people aren't going to do that for whatever reason. I guess because they're billionaires, that makes them more important or something. I don't know. But by the year 2030, no gasoline engines, no land ownership. The concept of land ownership, they're trying to get rid of this. Now, currently they're targeting farms, and that's because the food supply is under attack. We'll talk about that here shortly, but farms is the main thing right now, but that is going to turn into not only private property ownership, but the whole concept of owning or having your own piece of land, because that's not communal enough. Again, these people, they don't like freedom. Okay, and there's freedom in having your own little patch of land. It's not going to happen in 15-minute cities, or as I like to call them, open air prison camps, because that's what they are. Last time I talked about 15-minute cities, we did a video on them. Few people said, well, what's the problem? This sounds incredible to me. Everything is closer to my house. I don't have to drive so far to work. No, son, you are correct. If that's the life you want, not being able to leave your house and drive beyond 15 minutes, man, this is a paradise for you. The issue that I have with it is you need paperwork to get through a gate beyond that 15 minutes. You want to leave the city? You must ask the overlords. Please, sir, please spare a beggar a pass so he can get out of the city. It is literally an open air prison camp. It's just shiny. It's a digital prison camp. You know what I'm saying? And look, if you think it's a good concept, you are gaslit. You need a serious wake up call. I'm not even entertaining those comments. Okay, you can leave them if you want to. It's a free country. I'm not replying to them. If that's what you want, head on over to Great Britain. They're doing it now in certain areas of Great Britain, but I digress. This is all coming by 2030 by the Weef's own admission. They have their own website, the World Economic Forum. Google it. Go right over there. Type in boop, 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 Agenda 2030. Boom. Bam! Like Emeril Lagasse would say, it's right there on your screen. A laundry list of things that they are going to do to take your freedom away. I still get those people. Oh, man, there's no Agenda 2030. Again, you're gaslit. Airlock yourself. At this point, you're not going to be able to keep up with what comes next. All right. I'm just calling a spade this morning. All of this is being done for the sake of saving Mother Earth from climate change. That I would argue, now this is personal opinion. This is not on the Weef's website. This is this is my opinion this morning. That it hasn't been proven. I think we're up 0.6 degrees since 1900. I've not seen any concrete evidence that this was caused by humans. This is a straw man. Y'all know what a straw man is, right? It's fake. A straw man is fake. It's a fake boogeyman. Oh my God, we have this huge problem. What problem? Everybody's looking around. They'll tell you what the problem is. You don't need to see it. You know, you're just standing. Again, if you're one of these people that's cheerleading for climate lockdowns, cheerleading for 15-minute cities, you're already standing in a dark room. You don't see anything that's going on, in my opinion. So you're standing in a dark room and swabs in your ear. And he's like, look over here, son. There's a straw man. You can't see it, but it's there. And so we need to take all your rights away. This is what's happening. I can't believe people don't understand this. The only thing that I haven't figured out when it comes to these people, these overlords, if you will, there seems to be this back and forth. It's like they can't decide. Because look, people that cheerlead for 15-minute cities, they're not the brightest. I'm just saying. If you're cheerleading to imprison yourself in an open air prison, you're not the sharpest tool in the shed, son. Calling a spade this morning. But the one thing is about these kind of people, they can only look at one straw man at a time. For whatever reason, they can only fear one straw man at a time. So you have the Weef holding your cheeks, saying, look over here. No, we changed our mind. Look over here. The straw keeps going back and forth between the C19. Oh my God, the C19 is coming back, the Feinstein strain, as we determined yesterday. We got to take rights away. And then they switch it up and they're back over here on climate change. It's like they can't decide which path they're going to take in order to take your rights away. Two different means, but with the same end. Right? It ends with depopulation and total submission. That's what this entire thing is about. You want to know what the C19 is about? There it is. Depopulation and total submission. You want to know what climate change is all about? Depopulation, total submission. Cut and dry. That's what it is. This is literally their plan. Again, it's online. Go check it out. I'm going to go through a list of things that we have encountered recently, meaning the past 2.5 years, maybe a little longer, not much. And then I'm going to ask you a very serious question and just drop a comment, throw it in chat, whatever you want to do. So we have the Chinese buying up agricultural assets, farms, farmers that have been priced out. They go out of business. Oh my God, we can't make ends meet anymore. I've got to sell the family farm that's been in the family for generations. And then a shadow company will come in, they'll swoop in, they'll buy it up for no reason. They're not farmers. These people just show up in suits and ties. And when you start tracing the names back of all these different farms that are being bought, hopefully somebody in the chat can verify this is going on, right? It all traces back to the Chinese government. I'm just saying. Over the past 2.5, 3 years, we have had literally hundreds of food processing plants just boom, incinerate, catch on fire, explode for no apparent reason. Well, here on mainstream media, officials are investigating. They never tell you why these things blew up. Why did these things just randomly catch on fire? You know, who did it? Tough farming regulations. Now, this was a bigger deal during the pandemic, but again, that's coming back. We were talking about this yesterday. It's like parachute pants, son. The pandemic's on its way back to some degree. All right, they're not done with the medical tyranny, apparently. But farming regulations have gotten so bad that, again, farmers cannot afford to stay in business. And they're just like, I'm out. I've got to sell it. I've got to find something else to do. When they sell it, boom, either Daddy Gates is in buying it or boom, the Chinese government is in there buying it. It is what it is. The USDA wants you to register your garden and all of the ingredients, like all of the extra stuff, fertilizer and things that you're using in your garden. Why would they do this? I don't know. You know, maybe they have a fetish for lettuce. I really don't know. Why would they do this? Let me know in the chat. A massive fertilizer shortage even today, commercial fertilizer. I get that you can go to, your local Home Depot and buy a bag or two or whatever, and that you can do it at home. There are other ways. I get that. But commercially speaking, they need tons and tons of fertilizer. Literally. Okay. And yeah, the war in Ukraine has hit the fertilizer somewhat, but this was an issue prior to the invasion of Ukraine. This has been going on for a while now. Okay. As food is evaporating off the shelves, we were just talking about the chicken yesterday, right? A cheaper lab-grown alternative seems to sprout up in its place. It's like magic. There are bags of chicken one day, the next day you go in, plant-based chicken product or chicken tasting product, not actually chicken. Man, billionaires are the ones investing the heaviest in this fake food. There are many suspects, but I know that Mark Zuckerberg and also I think it's Jack Dorsey, right? The guy that founded the original Twitter. They're both heavily invested in these fake food companies for those that didn't know. Your rights, whatever country you live in, your rights are being signed over or have already been signed over to the EU, to the North American Union that is coming, the South American Union that is coming. Why are our rights illegally being signed away? 15-minute prisons, getting back to the 15-minute cities. I'm calling them prisons. I'm going to call them for what they are this morning, filled with AI. Now, that's an entire list of things that we are seeing now or we have seen in the past 2.5 years. Let me ask you a serious question. Do you still think this is random? Are you still one of these people that don't understand that is a coordinated attack on our way of life? A systematic attack on our food chain. Do you not get that? Do you not understand this is being done to take our food away? Because, as many of you know, you control the food, you control the people. That's all it boils down to, folks. That's exactly what is going on. And I'm sorry, but again, if you think I'm crazy, it's time to wake up. Either airlock yourself and go back to zombie land with the rest of the zombies, or wake up and understand that the people that are in control are pushing all of us into slavery. Folks, this is John with Prepper Nation. Y'all have a blessed weekend.